Hey there, trainers. Your friendly neighborhood outlaw Johnny Starwind here. Oh, almost spilt my mellow yellow. No, this isn't a plug for that, or I'm not getting paid for saying that. I just love the soda. So, I don't know. I just felt like making a video today, and this will be a Pokemon related video. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get any news as of yet in regards to anything Sword and Shield related. There was a new trailer released over in Japan on which I managed to, for the upcoming Pokemon movie Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, which is a CGI version, which is a CGI retelling of Pokemon the first movie. So CGI animation for all the stuff. It looks really good. I can't wait to see what's going to happen when it comes over to the US, because it will inevitably come over to the US. But unfortunately, there was no news as of yet of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I was kind of hoping there was, but we didn't get any. But that got me thinking about today's video. So this video is going to be, which version should I go with? Now, there are a lot of aspects that people think about when they decide Pokemon game, especially because we all know that whenever a game comes out, there's always two versions. Red, blue. Well, initially, two versions. They'll throw in a third version every now and again, but still. Red, blue. Gold, silver. Ruby, sapphire. Diamond, pearl. Black, white, X, Y. Sun, moon. And now, Sword and Shield. So, hold on a second, let me get a better view. There we go. So, that got me thinking, why did I always choose one version over the other? Well, let's take a look. One of my first Pokemon games that I ever got was Pokemon, if I recall correctly. Actually, yes. The first version of Pokemon I got was Pokemon Red. The first Pokemon game I ever bought or got, because it's been 20 some odd years, so I can't remember if I bought it with my allowance money or if I got it as a birthday gift. Actually, it might have been a birthday gift, because March 2nd for me. So, and the reason why I got Pokemon Red? Well, even though blue is my favorite color, I went with red because my buddy of mine already had Pokemon Blue. And we both knew, because back in the day, this was really before internet was really a thing, so during the era of Nintendo Power and no real search engines or fan websites to share all the juicy bits and details, we had found out that you could only get certain Pokemon through trading with people who had the other version. He already had blue, so I took it upon myself to get red, so that way we could both do our best to be the very best, like no one ever has been or was. Well, has been, since I'm now looking at it with a good pair of rose-tinted glasses. But anyway, so I went with red as my very first game because a buddy of mine had blue. I went with, and for Pokemon Gold and Silver, I went with gold. Now, I got to choose the game I wanted first, so my buddy chose silver. Why did I choose gold though? Well, one, I thought the cover art was a lot better, and I believe there were certain Pokemon that were only available in gold that silver didn't have that I wanted. So I went with gold. And then after that, let's see. For Ruby Sapphire, I went with Sapphire because I like the color blue. I like water. Not water type Pokemon, but if I had a choice between having a legendary based off of ground versus having a legendary based off of water, and who looked like a giant orca with wings, I'm gonna go with the giant orca with wings. Next, after that, let's see. I went with Diamond. Reason why I went with Diamond, the cover, the game art with Dialga on it. I like Dialga a lot better than Palkia. I like the concept of being able to control time more than space. And, you know, just overall. And also, the Diamond had a more bluish tone to the case art and whatnot. So, I went with Diamond. Yes, even though Palkia was a water type, I still went with Diamond. Pokemon Black and White. Let's see. I went with Pokemon Black, if I recall. Yeah, I went with Pokemon Black because Zekrom just looked. I'm trying to remember who was on the cover of Black. I think Zekrom was on the cover of Black. But, you know, but when they came out to the... I'm trying to remember, was Zekrom the... Anywho, when it came to Black and Black, I went with Black and Black too, so that way I still got both legendary. While still technically getting the same game. But, color-wise, if I was going between Black and White, I feel like I look better in Black. Now, and I believe there were certain Pokemon in Black that weren't in White that I preferred. Then X and Y, I went with X because I like Xerneas' design. It was an overall better design, in my opinion, than Yveltal. But, yeah, I went with X, again, blues, more blue colors and whatnot. Yes, I know, despite the red Flash hat, I got it because I like the Flash, not because of the color red. Yeah, X, overall blue color scheme of the game. So, I base a lot of my decisions on the colors, which ones I feel are better. For Sun and Moon, though, I chose the Sun. Because, honestly, a big steel lion, that sounds a lot cooler than the bat. Not gonna lie, even though Moon fit with my color scheme more that I would choose, I went with Sun because I thought the legendary was a more unique design. It looked more badass. So I went with that. And again, and for Ultra Sun Ultra, I went with Ultra Sun. Because again, I felt Solgaleo looked overall better than Lunala. So, what am I feeling for Sword and Shield? Well, that's a good question. If I was to go based off of my color typing, I'd go with the blue one, which means I'm going to go one way. But, depending on, cover art and whatnot, I might go the other way. So, but what has always been an overall thing that I've noticed whenever I've played the games? Well, no matter which game I've ever chosen, I've always chosen the grass starter. And I'm not stopping anytime soon. Even if for if Grookey, that grass monkey, that funky monkey, even if Grookey gets an overall feminine design, much like Fennekin did in Gen 6 and Popplio did in Gen 7, I'd still go with Grookey. And yes, the overall feminine body type design that one would see if you looked at Fennekin, which could have gone any which way, but got an overall female in appearance form with Delphox, and Popplio, who got a overall female like design aspect in Primarina. Which you would figure that as a male it would be Primarino, kind of like Nidorino and Nidorino. But that's neither here nor there. The main aspect here is, even if Grookey got an overall female-inspired design for its final evolution, I'd still go with Grookey. Because I prefer grass types. I've always chosen a grass starter, and I know the video is going to look super dark and spooky right now because I'm going under an overpass, but yes, as I said, let me see if I can get closer. Will this change anything? No, the screen is not bright enough. There we go, we got some lighting to help a little bit. But anyway, I've always gone with a grass starter for every single generation, and I've never looked back. Bulbasaur, Chikorita. Oh man. The Bulbasaur, Chikorita, Trico, Turtwig, Snivy, which I just can't wait to see Snivy appear in Pokemon Go. So Snivy, Chespin, and eventually Rowlet. Oh god, I want Rowlet so bad in Pokemon Go. Whew. But anyway, so sorry for the close-up. So yeah, there is that whole aspect. It's like, so does my playstyle change depending on the games that I choose? No, not really. I think the overall aspect that would cause me to choose one game over the other that's a tough question. I think you know what? I got an idea. Now I can relate this to several different versions. The reason why I chose Sapphire over Ruby, the reason why I chose Black over White, the reason why I chose Diamond over Pearl, it's not, well, sort of about what certain Pokemon I can catch, you know. Because, I mean, if you get one version of the game, you can only catch a certain legendary. Later games have done sort of changes to that to where you're now able to catch, or they'll do events to where you can get all the legendaries or whatnot. Which I hope they continue with the Nintendo Switch generation of Pokemon games. But another aspect that, so certain types of Pokemon, you know, if you were to tell me that this Pokemon, regardless if it's a legendary or not, is only available in this game, And the only way to get it in the other game is through trading and whatnot. Granted, back in the day, I would choose that game, regardless of color scheme or whatnot, because back then trading was a lot harder. Nowadays, with Wi-Fi and internet trading and everything, connectivity out the wazoo, that shouldn't really have to play a factor. So what's gonna make me choose one game or the other? Well, Gen 3 did it, Gen 4 did it, Gen 5 did it. Gen 6 and Gen 7 didn't really do it. But it would have to be the storyline. I'll give you an example. In Gen 5, black and white, depending on which game you chose, because I did my research before I got the game. Because I wanted to because it's like, oh cool, I can get this Pokemon, this Pokemon, this Pokemon. But they also revealed a bit of the storyline. And the two legendaries represented two different ideas. So I chose, and this was totally based on the storyline, but it depended on which version you got. So I chose the one that gave me the storyline that I wanted the most, because of how I wanted the story to play. I wanted the story to be mine. Gen 3, depending on which version you got, determined which villain you would have to fight. And the overall goal of that villain. And the overall apocalypse that you're trying to stop. So, but this was also based off of the legendary that you got for that game. So, yeah, it made sense. I would get that version because then I would have a more integral part in the story, because I got a legendary that I wanted, and it felt more connected. So that, I feel, will be the deciding factor. Hopefully we'll get some more information later on to where we'll get a basic synopsis of, depending on which version you get, determines the story. So, yep. That is my answer to the question of which version am I getting. Well, depending on the information that we're given, granted, yes. If I feel that one legendary looks better than the other, yeah, I'll go with that. If I feel, competitively and whatnot, and I feel that legendary looks so much cooler, I could do so much more stuff with that. Oh man, I can already think of all the competitive play I could do with this. Not only that Pokemon, that legendary, but also all the version exclusive Pokemon. Then yeah, I would get that version. But in the era of connectivity, to where you don't have to worry about not being able to obtain that Pokemon at any time in your adventure, because you're able to trade at, granted, you might not be able to get that Pokemon you wanted at a certain level until a certain level or a certain area in the game, which allows you to trade with other people. You know, like certain games, you have to at least have your first badge before you could do any online trade. So, yeah. If there was anything like that. So, the connectivity, I mean, the access to the certain Pokemon initially would be a reason, but that's not going to be the overall reason anymore for my game style or my game choice. My reason for whichever version I get would be, how does the story go for that version? If I choose a version of the game that tells the story how I want my story to be compared to the other, such as choosing the legendary that I want and whatnot, then yeah, that's the version I'm going to choose. Even if I get the other, even if I get the other game, even if the other game has the overall legendary that I want, if the storyline doesn't truly align for that legendary or any of the other version exclusives that go in that world, in that version, I could just wait for a trade and get it that way. Or a promo event. Or, oh dear God, possible DLC! But that is now going to be my overall factor for choosing Pokemon games. The story. And it's not just the story of you going out and becoming champion, but how you interact with the world, with the villains, if there are villains, a villain organization. It's a Pokemon game. There should be a villain organization. And what is this villain organization going to be? This could be a topic for the next video. Alrighty, so thank you, trainers, for listening to me rant about that. But I want to hear your reasons down below. Leave comments down below about why you chose certain games. Was it because of specific Pokemon? Was it because of the story? Was it because I just thought it looked cool? Or it's my favorite color? Leave a comment down below. Like, share this video with all your friends. Subscribe. Leave a comment. But most of all, have fun, trainers. And I'll see you next time. Make your way and catch 'em all. Peace out.